Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of I Just Watched, which is another one of my podcasts where I talk about something that I just watched. This one will be Frozen 2, which has just been added to Disney+. Since we're all forced to stay in now due to this horrible virus, I think Disney Plus is a really cool thing. You can watch all kinds of Disney movies. No, they didn't sponsor this video. Just giving you an idea of what to do if you don't have a job like me and you like to do stuff and you can't figure out what to do. They have all kinds of movies on Disney Plus. They just recently added the first Ice Age movie. Yeah, because Disney owns Fox, they own Ice Age now. Ironic, isn't it? I also want to extend an apology for not posting any episodes of the Baywatch podcast and or the Murder, She Wrote podcast that I have here on this channel, because in Kentucky, the temperatures have a tendency to go up and go down. One minute it's cold, next minute it's hot, and I get sick when that happens. No, I do not have the virus that's going around right now. I do not have the coronavirus. I am perfectly safe and fine, but sometimes I don't feel like recording because of that reason. They're just little mini colds or allergies or whatever. But I think I might post some of an episode or two this week. Spoilers throughout this video as I discuss Frozen 2, because I can't discuss it without discussing the movie as a whole to understand what I don't like about it and what I do like about it. In preparation for watching Frozen 2, I decided to watch the original Frozen, which I cannot believe was actually released in 2013. Wow, time sure flies. That seems like a long time ago, now that we're in 2020. After watching it for the first time in a long time, I began to notice some of the things that reviewers have said about the movie over the years. Like, and this review is not for children. Honestly, I'm going to be cussing and everything, so go to YouTube kids. But one of the main things I've noticed is that the parents are complete and utter jackasses. Anna and Elsa'S parents are jackasses for the simple fact is that they make their daughter feel like her powers are a bad thing. Like, it clearly was an accident what happens to Anna, and the parents treat Elsa like, like she's a horrible person for doing this when she didn't mean to do it. And the trolls basically say, fear is her enemy. And remember that, because it becomes more apparent in Frozen 2 exactly what that means. So, I hate their parents. Like, I can't believe that they would put Elsa in a room by herself, isolate her from Anna their whole lives, then go off in search of how to get rid of her powers and die and leave the kingdom up to Elsa to take over. Another thing that I noticed in the first movie was, where does Kristoff and Sven come from? Like, they're just randomly there in the opening. They're with these ice people that are singing "Beware the Frozen Heart," which never comes into play later on in the story. But not just that, but like, I realized that none of them acknowledge that Kristoff and Sven are even there. Like, they're just going about their job and they just so happen to be there, and they don't even acknowledge that they're standing there or trying to get ice or doing anything. And it's like, who are Kristoff's parents? Where is his parents? Where's Sven's family. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Another thing I realized, a twist, villain being Prince Hans, his whole plan does not make any sense. So the guy on Film Theory that basically explained that, thank you, because you were right. And then there's Olaf. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously I love Olaf because the picture you're looking at right now is Olaf and Sven for the poster of Frozen 2, but I don't understand how Olaf is talking. When we first meet Olaf, he's made by Elsa when they're in the ballroom with snow before she gets hit in the head with the snow. And Elsa does the talking for him. Like, he doesn't talk. She sort of grabs his arm and goes, I'm Olaf and I like warm hugs. And we find out that in Olaf's Frozen Adventure, which aired on television for like a Christmas special, he was their Christmas tradition. They would always send each other, you know, something made in the shape of Olaf. And he was their tradition. But during Let It Go, when Elsa brings him back, how is it that he can talk? How is it that he knows about summer? How is it that he goes, oh look, I've been impaled? Like, how does he know he's been impaled? How does he get his information? There's a big, huge year gap in between him becoming animated, or whatever you want to call it. So really confused about that. Also, one more thing. I don't understand how Kristoff has not made the connection that the girl that the trolls helped was Anna. He never seems to make that connection, even when he brings her back to the trolls years later as a teenager or an adult. I don't know. Are they teenagers or are they adults? I don't know. So, Frozen 2. Alright, again, spoilers throughout this video. If you have not watched Frozen 2, I suggest that from now on, you click off of this video and do not listen to what I'm about to say next. Because I have to talk about this movie. And to talk about it, I have to talk about the plot. And the plot, basically, you can't talk about this movie without talking about the plot. And the plot is the spoiler. So, beyond this mark right here, which I'll say at the 800 mark, I will start talking about Frozen 2 with spoilers. So, go watch it on Disney Plus now, and then come back and watch this video. Alright, here we go. So Frozen 2, according to Wikipedia, because I had to look this up because the plot is so confusing, and I will try to explain it as much as I can. It is supposedly supposed to be set 3 years later. There's no continuity between Olaf's Frozen Adventure, the short where it's Anna's birthday and Elsa's trying desperately to make her birthday good or fun or whatever. The movie starts off with a memory that I'm guessing is supposed to take place before the whole incident of Elsa accidentally sending ice in Anna's brain. I guess we can say that that's what she does in the opening of Frozen. So I'm guessing this is like before that happens, because the mother and father, proving even more of what big jackasses they are in this movie, tells the two girls a story. And this castle is huge. I don't understand. Why the hell is it that they're in one room together? That does not make any sense at all. But whatever. Maybe they want to be together. Maybe there's, maybe it's part of being the sisters or something. But anyway, they tell the story of magical people who live in an enchanted forest. Their grandfather went to these enchanted people and gave them a dam as a peace offering, and went to go have a party to celebrate the building of the dam. But something happened. They have a fight, and the grandfather ends up dying. And the father, Anna and Elsa'S father, barely escapes with his life. He's saved by a mysterious person. But the mother and the father decide not to tell them the mysterious person happens to be the mother. And the mother happened to have magical powers. So, because of this fight between the Enchanted Forest people and Arendelle, the kingdom of Arendelle, the forest goes into a big, huge mist that no one can penetrate or go through. So, it's now 34 years later since this has happened. Elsa is still queen of Arendelle. Kristoff and Anna are still a couple. What they've been doing for the last 3 years, I honestly don't know. Olaf is still in existence, still alive, and is really sad because fall is coming. A musical number starts where they talk about the changing of the seasons and turns into something else. I don't even know. When my sister described this movie to me, she told me there was too many musical numbers. And Disney has a tendency to do that in their movies. In the first movie, the musical numbers make sense. They don't come out of completely nowhere, and they drive the plot. But if you look at such films as Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, Beauty and the Beast and Enchanted Christmas, any Disney Channel original movie sequel, especially like Camp Rock 2, God, there were so many musical numbers in there, it wasn't even funny. High School Musical 2, Descendants 2, Teen Beach Movie 2, the list goes on and on. The point is that I'm trying to make is that Disney movies sequels have a tendency to have way too many musical numbers, but this is different. Some of the musical numbers make sense, while the majority of them don't, and I will tell you which ones. For instance, Olaf. Okay, like I said before, love Olaf, hilarious character, cute, cuddly, wonderful. But, see, problem. In this movie, he has a song called When I'm Older, which brings up so many questions. Like, does a snowman age? How old is he now? How does he have the vast knowledge that he does? Like, for instance, he says, like, various little facts throughout the movie. One of them is, turtles can breathe through their butt, which is a scientific fact. Another thing, he says sort of morbid things, kind of like how in the first movie, he's like, oh look, I've been impaled. And then at some point, after defeating the snow monster that Elsa conjures up, he goes, I don't have a soul. Or bones. Like, how does he know what those things are? And if he doesn't have a soul, how can he talk? Can you talk without a soul? I don't know. But the point is, I love him, but I can basically say that he's flawed, okay? So, Kristoff throughout the movie has literally nothing to do except for he wants to propose to Anna, but why did it take him so long? It's been 3 years. Okay, so Elsa is, okay, the plot. So Elsa is, kind of, hearing a voice, or something like that. I don't know. I can't do it. And she doesn't know where it's coming from. And then she has this musical number, Into the Unknown, Into the Unknown, Into the Unknown. I won't go. But she does like 5 minutes later. So I don't know why they thought this would be as good as Let It Go. But, you know, it's not. And it's weird. But it's, I guess it's a really good song. Idina Menzel is fantastic as always, but still, like, how are you going to have her have a musical number where she's like, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to listen to you, and then 5 minutes later, hey guys, let's go find this voice that only I can hear. So, Anna basically tells her sister, look, we're in this together, I'm not losing you again, you're going to go find this voice, I'm going to go with you. So, her, Olaf, Kristoff, Sven, and Anna and Elsa go off to find this voice that only Elsa can hear. On the way, Olaf says hilarious scientific facts. The only one I can remember is the ones with the turtles being able to breathe through their butt. But he says that later in the story. So they get there, and there's like these spirits that represent something. You have a wind spirit, you have rocks that represent earth, you have a horse that represents water. Yeah, I was kind of lost too. I guess they couldn't just use water because Moana, but I mean, the horse makes as much sense as anything does in this movie. So once they go through this mist, Elsa realizes, oh my god, realizes that she has more things to her power. For instance, she apparently now can freeze moments in time and make them statues. She discovers this power when she gets sucked into a tornado by the Spirit of Wind. Why the Spirit of Wind does this, when she's supposed to solve the mystery and bring the two worlds together, I honestly don't know why it tries to kill her. Then there's the Spirit of Fire, which turns out to be a lizard. A cute little lizard. I mean, it looks like a lizard to me. I don't know what it is. But it's cute. And cuddly. And serves no purpose other than that. So eventually they discover that for years the Arendelle guards that had went there with the grandfather have been stuck there for 34 years. And the Enchanted Forest magical people has been stuck there too without seeing the sun for 34 years. But they look to be in perfectly good health despite that. And we don't really get to know that much about any of them. They're just sort of thrown in the story, and once it's established they're there, it's like Olaf goes off on his own and starts talking about, that will make sense when I'm older. And so many questions. How old are you now? I mean, but anyway. And midway through the story, Kristoff and Sven disappear after Anna and Elsa go off without him, and he has this ballad where he talks about being lost in the woods, wanting direction from her, not knowing what to say to her, and all of this, and it just feels like a random moment. It doesn't feel like it fits in this movie. Like, I didn't understand why it was there. So Elsa has to go off and find this island where she will find the answers to her questions. She notices that there is a fifth spirit, and she decides to go off. And then she does something that pisses me off more than anything else in this whole damn movie. Anna stands there and says, look, we have to go find this island, and I'm not going to lose you. We need to do this together. We're stronger together. Please don't leave me. And Elsa builds a boat of ice, throws Anna and Olaf in it, and sends them flying down a cliff into water, and she has no idea where she's sending them and goes off on her own. Like, what the hell? I understood in the first Frozen why she went off alone. She's been told all her life, conceal, don't feel, don't show your feelings, don't try to explore your powers, pretend they don't exist, and be stuck in your room for all eternity. And then she goes and she lets it go, and well, you all know. And I don't understand why she decides to just throw Anna down a ravine or something and doesn't even know where she's going. She could have killed her. And she doesn't care. So then we get that scene that was in the teaser trailer, how Elsa is trying desperately to go through the ocean. Well, it turns out that the spirit of water is a horse. Yeah, I still don't get it. Please don't ask in the comments below. I don't understand why. And I tried so hard to, and I still don't get it. Well, throughout her trying to, like, get up, like, use her powers to keep going, this horse, water horse, comes out of nowhere and starts trying to, like, kill her. And she keeps freezing it, and eventually she uses her powers and has an ice harness around it and is able to ride it all the way to the island, which is a glacier. And then there's this annoying-ass musical number that goes on for far too long that ruins, like, trying to tell us what the hell is going on. Like, apparently in this place, she can see every single memory from the past. Her mother's memories, and all the other memories of her past. There's even one point where she sees herself singing, let it go, and I'll rise like the break of dawn. And she goes, ooh, she cringes, and it's like, what are you doing? Why are you cringing? Why are you like, It doesn't make any sense. So then she finds out the truth. She's the fifth spirit. And again, please, don't ask me why. I don't know. The movie doesn't know. It doesn't try to explain. It just says, yep, you were created because your mother saved your father, and you were born to bring order to all of the people from the Enchanted Forest as well as Arendelle. Figure it out. Have fun. So, I don't know, I guess because of the vast knowledge she finds out, she freezes for some reason. I don't know why. Again, I'm confused. And because she's frozen and possibly dying or something, Olaf kind of dies too, but not really. And right before he dies, like, Anna's like, I don't know where we are and I don't know what to do. Olaf, tell me one of your scientific facts. And Olaf goes, did you know that turtles can breathe out of their butts? And then after that, there's like this moment where it's supposed to be sad, but it comes across as just weird because the movie doesn't explain it, that Olaf is fading away because of Elsa fading away. And Elsa, in her final thing, is able to send a snow statue that shows that their grandfather killed the leader of the Enchanted Forest magical people. And he was unarmed because the grandfather was afraid of magic, like their father was. The trolls said Elsa's fear trigger would be fear. Oh my god. At some point before this happens, they find their parents' ship. Why it's there? You ask? I don't know. Movie says it doesn't know either. Somehow Anna knows that every ship in Arendelle has a waterproof compartment, and Olaf goes, wow, isn't that convenient? Shouldn't the whole boat be waterproof? Again, where does he get his knowledge from? Also, at some point, when they're at the mist, she goes, oh my god, the mist is real. You know what we need to do? Or do you know what's going to happen now? Olaf goes, we're going to fully embrace technology and it's going to be humanity's downfall? And I was just like, what? What is happening in this movie? So Olaf fades away and Anna is like all alone. But for some reason from this statue, frozen statue, is just the grandfather is about to kill the leader of the magical people in the Enchanted Forest. But somehow she comes up with the rest of the plot. Oh my god, the dam. It wasn't a gift, it was to keep them out. They didn't like magic. The dam has to go and peace will be restored. Wow, so you got all of that from that statue? I mean, Really? Okay. So, the Earth Spirit is the rocks. They're not the bad people like we were supposed to be. And I legit thought that the surprise villain was going to be, like, the guy, one of the guards from Arendelle that's been stuck there for 34 years. Like, but there was no villain at all. And once, like, Anna just goes up to the bridge and they're like, we're not going to let you do this. And she tells them the truth, and that's all it takes. They don't fight her. They're not like, oh, well, are you sure? How do you know this? My sister Elsa died for the truth. Oh, okay, that's fine. You can destroy the dam. It might kill us all, but totally, go ahead. And she's standing on the dam as they're throwing rocks. She's like, yeah, keep throwing. Oh, wait, I'm standing on it. So she gets saved by Kristoff, who movie realizes is still a character. Oh, and also during Kristoff's numbers, Ben finally sings and speaks, which was just weird. And I was hoping that we would find out who Kristoff's parents were. I thought maybe, oh, they're going to be one of the people in the Enchanted Forest. His parents are cut off because of this stupid Arendelle thing. No, his parents aren't there. And the reindeer that just so happen to look like Sven have nothing to do with him at all. They're just there. Actually, they were used as background singers during Kristoff's ballad. So, after the dam bursts, Elsa is able to be unfrozen and is able to ride Water Horse to save Arendelle just in time before the water kills the kingdom that has surprisingly gotten smaller since the last movie, and also its placement is off. Like, it's in the water now, and I don't remember it being on the water. I remember it being up top. Watch the two movies side by side, back to back, and you will know what I'm talking about. But Elsa's able to save the day, and then for some odd reason that is not completely explained, Elsa decides to stay in the Enchanted Forest, and Anna becomes queen of Arendelle, and Kristoff and her get married. And the wind spirit takes messages back and forth between Anna and Elsa. And it's like, but why does Elsa want to stay in the Enchanted Forest? I don't know. I mean, this movie was really confusing. I want to say that a Disney sequel, they're a dime a dozen. They can either be ranging bad from Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, to Atlantis, Milo's Return. I mean, they can either be complete garbage or they can be halfway decent. This was halfway decent. I mean, this did not have the direct-to-video quality that I felt Toy Story 4 does. But, I mean, there are just parts of it that I don't understand. And, like, if the mother has magical powers, why doesn't she just go in the Enchanted Forest and asks her ancestors, like, where they are? And why does she act like Elsa's powers are a bad thing? And why did they take them to the trolls? Oh, and oh my goodness, I think this is true. There's something else I noticed in the first Frozen movie. When Anna goes into the trading post place where she gets carrots and meets Kristoff and stuff, and he offers Anna to go in the sauna. When we cut to the sauna, there's only another man in there with children. So I'm thinking that is the first subtle gay couple in a Disney movie. Yes, there was a couple in Finding Dory, but I'm counting this. But I not want to put emphasis on it because I don't want 100 million moms to, like, protest Frozen. But he appears in this one, but has no purpose other than to just be there. But overall, the movie is good. there's this hilarious part where Olaf recaps the first movie to the Enchanted Forest people, as well as the guards of Arendelle that have been stuck in there for 34 years, and it's hilarious. I was laughing so hard I had tears in my eyes, and it was the only part in the movie that I laughed at. That and when Olaf was like, "Did you know that turtles can breathe out of their butts?" It was just so random, it was so funny. And I don't know if you're supposed to laugh during certain parts of Olaf's reenactment, because it was like, at one point he's pretending to be the king and queen. "Don't worry, Anna and Elsa. We'll be back and we'll figure out what is wrong with your powers. The parents are dead." I mean, I just started laughing, and I couldn't stop. And I was like, wait, am I supposed to laugh at this? I don't know. Overall, if you liked Frozen 2, you'll see some of the nostalgia stuff of Frozen in Frozen 2. If you're expecting a fantastic ballad like Let It Go, or First Time in Forever, or Summer by Olaf, or anything like that, there's none. The musical numbers make no sense, especially when Elsa finally finds the island. That musical number goes on for far too long. Anna has another one where she's not with Elsa or Olaf, and she's like, "What do I do next? What do I do next?" I mean, I don't even think that needed a musical number, honestly. But it's good, and I loved it. It was hilarious, it was heartfelt, but I don't know if there's room to make a third Frozen movie, and I don't know what it would be about. But anyway, tell me in the comments below what you thought of Frozen, and I hope that they find a cure for the virus that's going around right now, because the world seems very crazy, and we're all stuck in our houses, apparently, and hopefully things will get better soon. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. That perfect girl is gone. Here I stand in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.